From throwing her physical therapist out of the house,
Away from me. Okay. Get the out. Do not ever come back to my house again.
to shouting down Dr. Now,
What you gave me? I'm done. Goodbye.
Lisa Eberson may be one of the most difficult patients ever seen on My 600-Pound Life.
What would you rather be doing?
I don't know. Leave me alone, lady.
Sometimes when we get angry and frustrated, we want to blame other people.
Bedridden for years,
How long you been in bed?
3 to 4 years.
her world had shrunk to four walls, a wary caretaker, and a mountain of excuses. But beneath the manipulation and lies is a woman whose own body has become a prison. The question is, will she ever escape?
This is nobody's fault but my own. I basically killed myself.
Oh, both of us yeah.
No, I did.
For more than 4 years, Lisa Eberson hasn't left her bed.
I haven't been able to walk, like I said, about 3 or 4 years.
At 51 years old and weighing 637 pounds, her world had been reduced to the living room and a sick boyfriend who did everything for her.
My boyfriend Randy has to do a lot for me. And I feel bad because it's not fair to him.
Lisa's weight had gotten so bad that a doctor even warned her against standing.
Doctor told me if I stood on my ankle, it was gonna puncture the skin. The bones were gonna go through my skin. Started staying in bed, but I never got out of bed. By that time, I know I had to weigh about 600.
For some, this warning would have been a wake-up call to change their living habit, but Lisa's life instead kept going in cycles of meals, naps, and television. Every morning began the same way. Randy, her partner of years, came into the room carrying several plates of food. Lisa didn't eat with hunger anymore. She ate like her life depended on it. One bite bled into the next until the plate was clean. And once breakfast ended, Randy cleared the tray, only to return a few minutes after with another meal. Despite how it looked now, her life wasn't always like this.
We used to go fishing all the time. She'd go to the store with me. She'd go to the doctor's with me. I do feel lonely all the time when I go out and she can't go with me.
To understand Lisa's story, you'd have to step back into her past, a childhood carved out of chaos and fear. Lisa was born into a home where alcohol poured more freely than love. Her father drank heavily, and with the drinking came fights.
Then he got into drinking and started beating on my mom and everything.
Arguments erupted without warning. Sometimes they ended with slammed doors, sometimes with something far worse. For Lisa, childhood wasn't the safety net it should have been. She grew up doing whatever she wanted when she wanted to, and that independence to do whatever at such a young age set the foundation for her unhealthy eating habit.
After my dad left, my mom went to work. She cleaned banks. She did whatever she could to take care of us. And as kids, used to spend a lot of time home alone. Go do whatever we wanted to do.
But the most devastating wound came at 13.
I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. I got raped. And it just happened. There's 2 different guys.
It's the kind of trauma that leaves a permanent scar on anybody, and worse to a growing child.
Maybe feel lonely, afraid, wondering why things happen, and where in the hell was God?
After that day, Lisa didn't just feel unsafe in the world, she felt unsafe in her own skin.
I know I did. I did it on purpose because I wanted to get fat so nobody ever touched me again.
While her decision might not make sense to some people, she felt that turning her body into a fortress, literally, would protect her from being touched again. Pounds became armor, and food became her weapon.
I've always enjoyed food. I don't know why, but I always have.
It didn't matter that it hurt her health.
Or eating all that food because you know that food's killing you. You know how bad it is? It's absolutely terrible.
Or that it slowed her down. It made her feel protected, and that protection was all she wanted. As she moved into her teenage years and early adulthood, the coping mechanism only got worse. Where others turned to friends or therapy, Lisa turned to food.
I got to drinking then. Drinking and partying. Following the crowd. Probably about 300 pounds.
Lisa was willing to do anything she could to numb the ache and innocence she had lost in her early teenage years. The weight kept climbing, but instead of seeing it as a problem, she embraced it completely. Each new size was proof that she was harder to reach, harder to hurt, but things had gotten so bad that she could hardly do most of the things she was used to. The shame gnawed at her, yet the cycle of food didn't stop. When Lisa felt guilt, sadness, or even boredom, her answer was still always the same: eat.
Whenever I'm stressed out or something, I eat. I'm just a stressful person.
And the food she was killing herself with wasn't what anyone would call healthy. There were bottles of soda, bags of chips, chocolate, and fast food.
A 6-pack of them if they got them.
You want bacon cheddar? You want jalapeno cheddar?
Just grab one of each one.
Lisa wasn't proud of it, but she didn't deny it either.
Nobody wants to be like this. And if they do, they're crazy.
But wanting change and knowing how to change are two very different things.
I've always wanted to lose weight. I just never knew how to lose weight.
Unfortunately, food wasn't the only area where Lisa's choices kept hurting her. Just like her diet, her relationships followed the same destructive pattern, built on comfort in the moment, but costing her dearly in the long run. Lisa's first marriage wasn't just unhealthy, it was disastrous.
My first marriage was a guy that was in prison. He was in prison for murder.
The relationship was toxic from the start, built on all the wrong things rather than stability.
You know, 3 months he was out, but then he got to drinking and using a lot of drugs. Thought it was okay to talk to me and hit on me and stuff like that.
It was less about love and more about clinging to someone, anyone, who might make her feel less alone.
Well, then there was Charles. I dated him for a couple of years. I was 20 when I dated him. We broke up because we just fought a lot.
But what it really did was reinforce a pattern, a cycle where she surrounded herself with danger, chaos, and disappointment.
He had to have 3 or 4 different girlfriends at one time, and I couldn't deal with that.
And through all of it, food remained the only constant in her life.
Food became a comfort to me because whenever I got upset or afraid or lonely, I knew it'd be there.
Every meal wasn't just a meal, it was therapy.
When you turn to food for comfort, it's like your best friend. You know, you can eat it and you can cuss while you're eating it and tell them everything you're doing, and it's not going to talk back to you and it's not going to judge you.
Food was predictable in a life where nothing else was. It didn't judge her, didn't betray her, didn't strike her. It was there at every low point, and slowly it became her only source of joy.
Food makes you feel good while you're eating it. Makes you happy.
By the time she reached her 30s and 40s, the fortress she had built around herself was complete. What started as protection had become a prison.
I don't really think I ever really noticed it until my legs and feet and stuff started hurting so bad. And Matthew said, "Mom, you're getting fat."
The pounds she once believed kept her safe now kept her trapped, but Lisa struggled to see the difference. To her, the food was still happiness, still her shield, and still the one thing she could trust.
Food makes you feel good while you're eating it. Makes you happy.
This is the paradox of Lisa's story. Her trauma explains so much about her behavior. The abuse, the assault, the chaos, they all fed into the cycle. But trauma doesn't erase accountability. It doesn't justify years of destructive choices or the toll those choices have taken on the people around her. Her pain was real, yes, but the spiral she allowed it to fuel was real too. And as Lisa lay in bed, years later, ashamed of what her life had become, the truth lingered like a shadow. Food had saved her once, or at least she believed it had, but in the long run, food hadn't saved her at all. It had messed up her life.
This is my last chance, though, because if I don't do this, I'm gonna die.
But Lisa's story wasn't just about her and the food, because every story like Lisa's has another character in the shadows. For her, it was her boyfriend, or as she affectionately called him, Randy. Randy wasn't just a partner. He was the cook, the cleaner, the errand runner, and the grocery shopper.
He shouldn't have to come home and clean, and he shouldn't have to come home and cook, and he shouldn't have to take care of me. That's what I worry about with this relationship, is that he's gonna get tired and leave. He's never told me that.
When Lisa needed something, he was always there.
Randy, will you put that in the kitchen, hon?
Every plate of food that arrived in Lisa's room came from his hands, and Lisa enjoyed every part of being waited on. But while he almost never complained about any of it, she knew how difficult it must have been on him.
They say he's gonna get tired and leave. He's never told me that, but I don't know. If it was tables or turn, I'd get tired of it.
Their relationship was built on a strange exchange. Her need for food, his need to show love. But what began as devotion slowly grew into enabling. In Lisa's eyes, Randy was the one solid thing in her fractured world.
He was just so sweet and kind.
When she asked for fried chicken, he brought it. When she craved sweets, he went out and got them. He couldn't bear to see her cry.
She wants to get up out of bed and do things, and she starts crying. It makes me upset because I love her with all my heart.
So he filled the void the only way he knew to. To him, every serving was an act of love, but he didn't realize it was also another nail in the coffin of her health. His life basically revolved around her needs.
Makes me upset because I don't want her eating that stuff, but I don't want to make her mad, so I give it to her.
Lisa knew it.
The last 3 years on him has been hell. He's had to take care of me, and, I regret letting this happen.
And despite the fact that she hated it, she never did much to change the situation.
My boyfriend Randy has to do a lot for me. And I feel bad because it's not fair to him.
It was so bad that most viewers couldn't help but wonder why Randy put up with her. But to understand their bond, you have to take a trip to a different time. There was a time when life together looked different.
She'd go to the store with me. She'd go to the doctors with me.
They laughed, they planned, they lived. Those moments still mattered to Randy. They reminded him of the woman Lisa used to be, the woman he still believed was hidden somewhere beneath the weight. But the contrast between then and now was brutal.
And I really didn't even, look at myself.
These days, Randy's outings were lonely. He went to doctor's appointments by himself, shopped for groceries alone, handled life outside, while Lisa watched it slip by from her bed. He dreamt of marrying her someday, of making her his wife.
My biggest hope and dream for her is to get up out of bed and let's go do stuff and eventually get married.
It's the love in his eyes that complicates the picture.
Let's go do stuff and eventually get married.
This wasn't a simple story of enabler and enabled. It was a tangled knot of love, loyalty, and slow destruction. Lisa clung to Randy because he was her only link to the world, but Randy, in his own way, clung to her too.
We do, yes, we both enable each other.
For Randy, the routine had worn deeper scars. His role as partner was quietly eroded into that of a caretaker. And instead of planning a wedding, he spent his days lifting trays.
Oh, hey. Randy, will you put that in the kitchen, hon?
And washing laundry. The future he imagined collided with the reality he endured.
I feel like her caretaker instead of her boyfriend some of the times. It's kind of frustrating.
That was the heart of their tragedy. Randy loved Lisa too much to leave.
I love everything about Lisa. I miss her being there with me. That's how I feel about that.
But in staying, he helped her destroy herself. But while they both knew what was happening, neither knew how to stop. Randy's devotion was genuine.
Randy takes really good care of Lisa. He's here for her and he helps her, he baths her, helps her with her blisters on her legs and stuff.
But so was his wariness. There's no denying that he was struggling with his own health, but Lisa was so high on being taken care of.
Lay down for a little bit and see if that'll help out.
Got pain in my left leg.
That she didn't really show she cared. The cameras caught his exhaustion in fleeting moments, from the way his shoulders slumped after carrying in another meal, to the quiet sighs he let slip. He loved her, but behind his eyes was a man slowly fading under the weight of love. For Lisa, Randy was the lifeline that kept her world functioning.
I love Randy because we've been together forever, and he's really good to me. He does a lot of stuff that a lot of men wouldn't do.
For Randy, Lisa was the love that kept him anchored, even if it dragged him down. It was a loop with no easy exit. She was stuck in bed. He was stuck in a relationship where he played the role of caretaker more than partner.
Here, babe, put that up.
And in a way, both were trapped.
I think both of us have had food addiction since we met. I think we do, yes, we both enable each other.
Not just by Lisa's weight, but by a love that suffocated as much as it sustained.
Good night, babe. Love you.
It was almost as if he was stuck in the relationship as much as she was stuck in bed. For years, Lisa had avoided doctors. Hospitals meant judgment, scales meant humiliation, and medical advice meant facing the reality she didn't want to confront. But now, her health was declining fast, and she had to do something.
My biggest fear is dying. I want to change my lifestyle to get out of bed and do things. And
She agreed to something she never thought she would.
I mean, it's nobody's fault but my own that I put all this weight up and I wanted it in this bed.
Even before the call connected, Lisa looked extremely uneasy and worried. When Dr. Now's face appeared on the tablet screen, he didn't mince words.
Your health will start to deteriorate rapidly if anything's happened to you.
While Lisa was quick to explain where the problem was coming from.
Well, yeah, I knew I I like to snack a lot and eat a lot.
Dr. Now was more interested in what she was going to do to make a change, especially when it came to Randy enabling her.
So when you got an enabler over there, they enable you to eat all the high-calorie food. How are we going to change that?
Well, we
Somebody that's interested to keep you in the bed,
no.
he can be your provider. So
He,
he bring you the food and you're obligated to eat.
no.
Because it was obvious that everything had been planned out to make sure she never had to get up from the bed.
Randy, we turn over and use like a bedpan.
I see.
Dr. Now explained that things had to change before she could think of having surgery, and it was all going to start with her diet.
1,200 calories a day with focus on protein and almost no carb. What do you think?
For a minute, it looked like Dr. Now had truly gotten through to Lisa, and she was about to make changes in her life.
Basically killed myself.
Oh, both of us killed you.
No, I did.
But fast forward to a few weeks, and Lisa was back to her old habits, with help from none other than the love of her life.
How many do you want?
Get like 6 or 7 cookies. Get some peanut butter cookies.
At this point, it was obvious that Lisa never truly took anything Dr. Now had said about changing her habit.
Go over and get like 6 frozen pizzas. And get a pack of corn dogs too.
I don't see corn dogs.
All right, just grab 4 bags of pizza roll and get out of there.
It came as no surprise that she had several excuses for why she had not made any real change after 2 months.
I don't quite understand your book and what kind of diet you want me to be on.
But she wasn't the only one to blame, because Randy was the main person enabling her.
You're the one who brings Lisa home the food that's killing her. So why are you doing that?
I bring her a whole lot. I bring her some.
And when Dr. Now tried to get him to help her make the changes, he wasn't willing to listen.
She gonna get up and go get it?
Randy, you have to talk to him because this is important. This is about saving my life. You can't just not talk to the
Try
man.
not to overfeed you.
When Dr. Now further confronted Lisa, she broke into tears.
I'm trying to tell you I need help, but I want it.
Well, the help that you want, we're giving you the help, you're not taking it. The help you want is to stop eating.
Her constant crying without actually trying to make any real change made most fans say her crying was annoying, but the lying and manipulation was aggravating to watch. The truth was that Lisa was not making a serious attempt at changing, and despite her fake tears, all she wanted was to stay in bed and be waited on.
I'm doing the best I can.
The call ended, but the tension lingered. Randy sat at the foot of the bed, awkward and quiet. He'd been scolded as an enabler, stripped of the one way he thought he was showing love. Lisa, meanwhile, felt cornered.
What is the point of calling us and you're not doing anything you're supposed to?
I do want the help.
So what kind of help you need?
I don't know, Dr. Now.
Given a target that felt impossible by a man who refused to play along with her excuses.
Trying the tantrum is not going to be a solution for the
I'm not throwing no tantrum, Dr. Now.
What do you want?
At the end of the day, the real question wasn't whether Dr. Now believed it was possible.
If Lisa doesn't wake up and stop playing games, then the outcome isn't gonna be good for her.
He'd seen worse. He'd seen people turn their lives around. The real question was whether Lisa believed it, and more importantly, whether she wanted it enough to try.
Unless she does the work, nothing anyone does will help her in the long run. So she's not gonna manipulate her way into losing the weight and walking again.
Because for the first time in years, the choice wasn't just about food. It was about survival, and survival meant change. The plan was simple: diet, exercise, therapy. But with Lisa, nothing ever stayed simple. In the following days, Lisa had canceled her appointment with a dietitian on multiple occasions. When Dr. Now finally insisted, Lisa was anything but cooperative.
Lisa, if you want to make change, I'm gonna need you to engage with me.
But I don't know.
So you've not struggled with...
What is this going to do me any good with you just coming here and talk? This is not even what a nutritionist has done. I've seen nutritionists before. This is...
She wasn't willing to listen or give feedback to the dietitian's questions.
I don't know. Leave me alone, lady.
Sometimes when we get angry and...
And it just made it difficult to help someone who didn't want it.
This is my specialty of working with people who struggle in their relationship with food. This is what I do every day.
They're wasting my time.
It was so bad that she resorted to lies.
Did you get the diet that Dr. Now had
Nope.
provided? You
I
didn't get
never
any
got no diet.
information from him?
No diet, no nothing.
And talked down on Dr. Now's attempt to help her.
Good for you when you met with him.
Nothing but rudeness.
Okay.
I refuse to talk to that man again, too. I don't need to be made like I'm a piece of from someone who's supposed to be helping me.
Most of the audience was shocked to see her turn on Dr. Now, with some wondering why he's so patient with nasty filth like her. But when it came down to it, for someone used to grazing all day, Dr. Now's strict 1,200 calorie plan was the best bet for her. But Lisa wasn't having any of it.
Hey, this is over with. Get out. I'm done talking to you. Away from me.
Okay.
Get the out. Do not ever come back.
Just a few hours after this outburst, Lisa took it a step further when it was time for her physical therapy.
Doctor, now he knew good and well I could not do anything after that, so that's disrespect on his part. And I'm supposed to respect this man? No.
But despite her poor behavior toward help, Dr. Now was still willing to try again. So the following day, he sent the physical therapist to her house again. But her response was still terrible.
And I am a physical therapist.
Lisa was rude.
You have 5 minutes.
Okay. What can physical therapy help you
There's
with?
nothing you can do for me.
Have you had physical therapy in the
And very difficult to deal with.
You are not supposed to be here this late. How is that fair? You are not supposed to come this late. I really don't have anything to say to you or anything I want to do. You wasted your time.
Despite the therapist's kind attempt at getting her to cooperate, Lisa decided to keep living in her prison of choice, planted in that same bed.
Even just raising your arms up overhead and coming back down.
Oh my God, never mind. Thank you for coming. That's the end of it. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Viewers were particularly put off by her terrible behavior, with some calling her one of the rudest and most vile patients they've ever seen on the show. I bet she's still in her bed, wasting away, blaming everyone else but herself for her problems. And some viewers suggested that she absolutely had a personality or severe psychiatric and potential developmental disorder. I wouldn't be surprised if she was on a consistent psych med while there in order to cooperate with the staff. The next day, Lisa was back to her high-calorie meals like nothing happened.
To be what you do best. Because you're clearly not doing the diet. And you still haven't cooperated with PT, so why is that?
I still don't understand no diet.
When it was time for a video call appointment with Dr. Now, his expression was colder than ever. His patience, worn thin after months of excuses, had reached its breaking point.
You don't understand to eat less? Is that hard to understand that?
No.
Seeing that Dr. Now was not falling for her excuses, she turned to lies.
Stick with a healthy eating habit, and you need to do your physical therapy.
The one lady did come, she says I'm too fat and she don't know how to work with me.
That's not what happened. You refused to work with her every time she came.
At the end of the call, it seemed like Lisa had made up her mind to stop trying to get better.
Because you're heading to be a medical disaster pretty soon.
I don't really care anymore.
Seeing that there was no way she could get what she wanted without putting in the work, it was back to anger and outburst.
Everything to change your life, and then you have to do your own part.
What you gave me? I'm done. Goodbye. Here, I'm done.
The audience watched it unfold and couldn't help but feel the same exasperation Dr. Now did. They'd seen her squander chance after chance, lash out at the very people trying to help her. Most viewers believed she was absolutely vile and horrible. It was the brutal reality of addiction, stubbornness, and self-destruction, not just destroying Lisa, but slowly fracturing the relationship with everyone around her.
I want my life back. I mean, I must be pretty bad if people don't want to come visit me.
For years, Randy had been Lisa's only constant. Through the weight, the tantrums, the lies, and the endless caretaking, he remained. But in 2021, the world delivered a cruel twist neither of them could escape. COVID hit their household. At first, it was just fatigue, a cough, the kind of sickness they thought might pass. But both Lisa and Randy were high risk, and the virus didn't care about love or loyalty. It hit hard and fast.
My boyfriend, he got real sick, and they actually had to come and take him out because he was unconscious. So after that, they're like, they think he has COVID. You really got to go get tested.
Within days, Randy's condition worsened. His breathing grew shallow, labored. Every word and effort, he was rushed to the hospital, leaving Lisa behind in the very bed she had once refused to leave.
So I called an ambulance, and they came and got me and took me to the hospital and said, yeah, you got COVID, and this is where I wound up at.
For the first time in years, she was truly alone. No Randy to fetch food. No Randy to tidy the room. No Randy to reassure her that everything would be okay.
Away, and I never got to see him again.
The silence was unbearable. From his hospital bed, Randy managed one final text before his death.
He texted me once, and that's the last time I heard from him. It says, I love you and miss you. Are you okay?
Lisa clutched the phone to her chest, sobbing. She texted back, desperate, but there would be no more replies. Randy was gone.
I just miss his hugs and his kisses and everything, watching him cook, and he'd be here right now sitting in that chair over there,
The man who had cooked for her, bathed her, defended her, loved her when no one else would, ripped away in an instant. Her enabler, her caretaker, her partner, her anchor. For the first time, Lisa was confronted with what life without Randy truly meant. No more safety net. No more excuses disguised as love. Just her, the silence, and the crushing weight of her choices.
Very hard to go home because Randy's not there. I got to go home to that empty house where I'm used to him being there, and all of his stuff there, and he's just not going to be there.
The loss of Randy also forced her into the very situation she had always feared. Hospitalization. When Lisa herself was admitted for COVID, it was jarring. She was no longer in control, no longer able to bark orders or manipulate her surroundings. For Lisa, the tragedy of Randy's death wasn't just a heartbreak. It was a mirror, forcing her to see that she had been handed chance after chance but never took them. That the man who stood by her side until his last breath would never get to see if she finally turned her life around. It was the cruelest possible lesson, and it came at the highest cost. For the first time in 4 months, Lisa reached out to Dr. Now after backing out of the program.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can do it. I got to the point where the hospital where I just eat till I'm full.
She admitted she'd failed, admitted she needed help. It wasn't the defiant, excuse-filled Lisa he remembered. This time, her voice cracked with vulnerability.
And that's a great improvement in what we got right now. You don't want to go home and gain all that weight back.
No, I don't. I really don't.
Dr. Now didn't shower her with sympathy. He'd heard promises before, but he gave her another plan. Strict diet, strict exercise, strict accountability.
It seemed like Lisa had a bit of wake-up call with her recent illness, and now she wants to do the program again. It's sad that it had to come to...
The difference this time wasn't in his orders. It was in Lisa's willingness to listen.
And here is going to be up to you to make better progress for yourself, okay?
Okay. I'll do the best I can.
feeling. So she doesn't use that as an excuse to start eating whatever she wants again. Because Lisa can't afford to mess this chance up. She's very lucky to make it this far in her condition. And if she goes home and goes back to old habits and doesn't do what she needs to change, then things are not gonna end well for her. So this is her last chance.
With Randy gone, a full-time caretaker was hired. Unlike Randy, this caretaker didn't enable, didn't bend to her demands.
In the book, it tells you what you can drink, the 0-calorie drinks that you can have, and then it goes on to give you recipes like a cucumber yogurt salad, sliced carrots, and sliced yellow squash.
Meals were measured, snacks removed, and all boundaries were enforced.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Therapy became a lifeline. In those sessions, she finally decided to put in the effort, if not for anyone, but for her deceased boyfriend.
He was.
And Randy wouldn't have wanted you to just lay in that bed and feel bad.
No.
So one of the best ways to get over the grief of Randy would be to live a full life and make him proud of you.
Okay.
Through tears, she confessed to how bad she wanted to change.
I want to get off his bed. I want my life back. I want to be able to go do things with my grandchildren.
And for the first time on camera, Lisa admitted what had been her fear through the process.
I need to figure out a way to feel like I'm really worth it, though, because I don't feel like I'm worth much of anything.
By the end of the therapy session, it seemed like Randy's death truly brought about a genuine need to change in Lisa.
Lisa, I'm optimistic for you. You can do more than you think you can. I think you're going to impress yourself with your ability.
Physical therapy resumed, and this time, she completely committed to it. The exercises that once seemed impossible, leg lifts, stretches, even sitting upright for longer periods, became daily battles she actually fought. Each small movement was a victory, not just for her body, but for her spirit. It was completely refreshing to see Lisa in a new light without the outburst and actually doing the work diligently. For the first time in a long time, it looked like as if there was actually a real chance in her succeeding and hitting the weight goal target. She was no longer refusing to try or being difficult. She pushed again and again and again. It wasn't glamorous or miraculous, but it was progress. Every step she took, no matter how small, felt like a step toward honoring Randy's memory. She no longer wanted food to be her comfort. She wanted life itself. There was no denying that things were starting to look good for Lisa. It was fragile, uncertain, but real. By month 9, Lisa's life looked different. Not transformed, not healed, but undeniably different. The woman who once barked at people trying to help her now greeted her days with a fragile sense of discipline.
Here's a part in this book that talks about how much proteins and everything, too.
Meals were smaller, measured, controlled. The full-time caretaker enforced Dr. Now's plan.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay.
And while Lisa still struggled, the tantrums had dulled. There were no more midnight binges, no secret stashes of junk food, at least none that anyone could prove. Instead, her days revolved around structure. 3 protein-focused meals, water over soda, vegetables forced onto the plate whether she liked it or not. Physical therapy remained grueling, but she pushed herself more consistently. Her legs trembled during exercises, but she no longer refused. She no longer lied or tried to dodge the work.
Never done in my life, but I tried. It felt good. Once I get my mind set to something, then I have no doubt that I can do it.
Even her physical therapist seemed impressed by the change.
She got through everything well and had no pain and appears to be very knowledgeable in the exercises and hopefully can continue those on her own.
For a while, it looked like Lisa was finally turning a corner. After months of hostility and denial, her attitude seemed lighter, and with that support, small victories began stacking up.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay.
For viewers, it was the first time Lisa looked like she wanted to fight for herself, but the progress didn't last.
But over the last month, you haven't been doing as much. And you've been telling them you're too tired and you can't do it. So they have to come back later. So what's going on now?
The same excuses that haunted Lisa's journey began creeping back. She complained she was too tired to do her exercises. She skipped sessions, brushing them off as unnecessary. Dr. Now wasn't pleased with the lack of progress. It was clear that Lisa was allowing her fear to hold her back from leaving the bed.
In the bed for time you develop a fear of walking, and I think that may be a factor here. You need to work through that, okay?
Despite her past history of lashing out, Lisa didn't argue, as he explained why she needed to fight her phobia and leave the bed.
Because getting up and moving around is going to be a very important step in your recovery.
She didn't scream or slam the phone down, or insist the scale was broken. She just listened. Maybe it was Dr. Now's bluntness, or the quiet knowledge that her window for change was closing. Either way, she listened as he gave her new exercise models to try.
Put in the bed,
Yeah.
and then move to the edge of the bed and put your feet on the ground.
Okay.
And once you
But at this point, no one can really tell with Lisa, because despite her promises of change, she was slowly starting to exhibit the signs she was showing previously.
This past week, she started telling them they have to come back like she was doing in the beginning. So I'm worried she's going back to her old habits. But right now, we will...
This time, the tension wasn't in whether she would actually do it. Lisa's story was at a delicate point, caught between progress and relapse. She wasn't the defensive, angry woman viewers first met, and her attitude had clearly changed. But as Dr. Now often reminds his patients, wanting to change isn't the same as doing the work. It takes real work, every single day. The question now was whether Lisa would keep pushing forward or start slipping back into old habits. For Dr. Now, there was no gray area left. He had given her several opportunities and his total support. Now, the ball was in Lisa's court.
But just like in the beginning, this is all still up to her. And it's going to come down to whether she's going to put in the hard work and stick with doing what she needs or not.
The episode left viewers with a portrait of a woman standing at a crossroads. On one side, hope, a healthier body mass index, a future beyond the bed, maybe even surgery. On the other, the same old pitfalls, fatigue, snacks, and the comfort of giving up. Lisa said she'd change, but only time would tell.